Every day, humanity wakes up to new headlines soaked in blood, genocides that erase entire communities, wars that grind on endlessly, wars fought not just for land or power, but in the very name of God. Children, innocent, defenseless children, are bombed in their schools, buried under rubble, left to starve in refugee camps. Some of these wars are conducted unbelievably in His name. Women, in every corner of the world, are raped and brutalized, sometimes in conflict, sometimes in silence, while men cloak their violence in the language of faith and honor. And then, there are crimes so unspeakable, we barely whisper them aloud. Children preyed upon by those who claim to be God's representatives, priests, clerics, gurus, sheikhs, leaders, trusted as moral guides, yet exposed as predators. And through all this, silence, no divine intervention, no thunderbolt from the heavens, no miracle. Still, billions of people spend billions of hours in prayer, pleading, begging, thanking, praising. Trillions of dollars flow into temples, mosques, churches, and the pockets of those who claim to serve God. But the world doesn't change. Wars rage. Children die. Justice is absent. So we must ask the question that believers dare not. Is God missing in action, or was He never there at all? Because if this were any other situation, if a company promised you safety, salvation, eternal care, and delivered nothing, you'd call it fraud. You'd sue. You'd demand accountability. You'd walk away. But when it comes to religion, fraud is protected by law. Under the sacred banner of freedom of religion, institutions are untouchable. The priests and preachers are free to collect money, free to sell salvation, free to promise blessings and miracles they never deliver. And many of them do more than survive. They thrive, building palaces while their followers live in poverty, flying in private jets while their congregations walk miles for water, funding their families' wealth and privilege, while the ordinary faithful are told that their suffering is part of God's mysterious plan. If it were any other industry, there would already be a massive class action lawsuit. But religion has long enjoyed immunity. Yet immunity is not permanent. The world is changing, faster than the agents of God might imagine. The number of non-believers is growing. The old certainties are crumbling. Courts and societies may one day begin asking the uncomfortable question, can you make claims you cannot prove? And when that day comes, when evidence is demanded, when the law begins to pierce the shield of faith, then those who built empires on the backs of the poor and the gullible may finally be held accountable. So perhaps the truth is not that God has failed us, but that the very idea was always empty. The silence was never divine mystery. It was human denial. The fraud was not celestial. It was man-made. If God is all-powerful yet absent when most needed, He is not missing in action. He is simply missing. And maybe it's time we stopped making excuses for Him. Thank you for watching.